Hey guys, welcome back to the Buddha Podcast. You're with Alex and Vadim as well. And again, we would appreciate if you guys would subscribe and like if you can. That would really be a great thing for us. I would also like to mention that we are sponsored by Quickie Print. This podcast, it is one of the best places to get business cards and pretty much any printing needs for really great prices. So, Vadim, what is our first topic of the day?
All right, let's talk about teachers having sex with their students. Wow, what a topic.
Right. Okay, so why don't you start off? What do you feel about it?
This is a crazy topic that I never thought that would happen. I mean, I know kids have crushes on their teachers, and I'm sure I had one or two, but I never thought of having sex with the teacher. It was just, the teacher's cute, pretty.
You honestly never thought of any of your teachers, you've never thought about having sex with them?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe
I was about to say,
school.
I'm like, come on.
Maybe in high school, maybe in
junior
college.
High? Junior high? Really?
No, not really.
Like, you never had a hot teacher that you were thought, oh my God.
Not that I can think of, honestly. I don't remember, but not that I can think of. I'm just trying to go back and picture.
Okay, so you got some ugly teachers, but okay, all right.
Well, ugly teachers and guys. So
there was no guys you liked either?
Okay, yeah, let's not go there.
All right, okay. So go ahead. You were saying.
Well, it's something that is very hard to understand, at least from my perspective.
Which part?
Having your first sexual experience with a teacher is very weird and unorganic to me, especially because you're a young kid and you look up to the teacher and then boom, you're having sex with the teacher. Whoa, that's weird. That's so freaking weird.
It's weird, but it's if you speaking from a point of view of a guy, because I can't really say too much from a girl's point of view, but from a guy, that is almost the pinnacle of what you can possibly do in high school, grade school, and even college as well. I mean, if you're actually in college, not as much as high school. I mean, if you're a guy and you have sex with the teacher, I know that the teacher basically faces horrible consequences, but the guy, you're the king in school. If anybody finds out that this is what happened, no one is pitying you in school. Everyone is basically high-fiving you, and everybody's looking at you as like, man, how did you do it? So I just think for a guy, this is like one of those things that like you only dream of, and only a small percentage of guys are able to actually witness this. Well, not witnesses, but actually be part of this.
Well, it would be interesting if you can actually witness this as it's happening.
But that would
be kind of
the videotape guy. No,
well,
I'm right.
Well, you don't have to witness it firsthand, but you're right. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I think I've heard of a story of a woman having an orgy with her student. I think this is a recent story where it was filmed as well, and that's how she got caught. And it's just so crazy that people videotape themselves, and then either he or she or whoever was a part of the orgy or sexual act releases the tape. You know what I mean? It's just so awkward. Especially, why would you want to record something if it's illegal?
Well,
that's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's doing something like that is pretty stupid, generally speaking. I mean, especially with all the hacks that are going on, to put anything that private and especially illegal is just crazy. But most that I heard of, they don't really record themselves. Most teachers that have sex with their students, it's not a really recording session. It's more just something they want to keep under wraps. So, but what do you think about? Let's start first with girls having students that are girls having sex with male teachers. What do you think of that?
I don't know. It's very difficult. Because women are not as sexualized as men. That's one. And two, I mean, it depends when it occurs. Usually, I would understand if it would occur in college, because in college, it's more of like the experimental phase. Especially, hey, if I can have sex with my professor, guaranteed an A. Because if
so basically you're saying if there's blackmail involved, then it's a quid pro quo type of situation, then you're fine with it?
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying that I'm fine with it. All I'm saying that is women use it more in a strategic fashion as opposed to guys.
Well, yeah, but
they go for the sex. I just want the sex.
You can make an argument. You can make the argument for college, I guess, but you can't really make that argument for high school and for middle school when that happens.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Because I don't know if we should really put college in the argument in the first place, because it is legal. You can have sex. It's frowned upon in terms of like the colleges. The college might fire the teacher, but there won't be any criminal charges. We're really talking about students in middle school and high school.
True, but unless you're right. You're pretty much talking about two different points here, right? You're talking about legality and illegal activity, right? In college, it's legal, but at the same token, for example, if the student wants to claim that their professor raped her, now you have an issue there.
Well, yeah, but but it doesn't really matter whether you don't have to have a teacher-student relationship. It could be anything in that respect. It could be a coworkers, and if a woman says that the guy raped her, I don't know how that's the same thing. That's a completely different.
I'm saying that it's not really the same thing, but she can claim rape, and that's illegal. That's all I'm trying to say. But
it is. That's not what we're talking about.
Well, let's go back to junior high and high school.
Yes.
Are girls, having sex with teachers because they're thinking in a strategic fashion? Probably not. I don't know. That's something to me that is very, very mysterious and strange. Women, I'm sure girls, I'm saying, have crushes on their teachers. I'm sure that's the case. But does it lead to something in their mind that is sexually driven? Like they actually want to have sex with the teacher? Or is it just the fantasy of just being with them as a couple together? Non-sexual manner.
Do you think under any circumstances where a girl who's, let's say she's 16 years old, are there any circumstances where you could go, okay, she slept with her teacher that's, let's say, just out of out of college, he just graduated, got his degree, and is teaching now. Let's say he's 24 years old, she's 16, he's 24, and they get into a relationship. Is there any circumstance where you would go, that guy should not be pursued as a
sexual abuser?
basically yes.
To me,
is there any circumstance? I'm saying, is there not all? Because yes, most circumstances, I think most people will put him 100%. But
my only answer to that would be if he's actually not teaching her, and they meet outside of class, meaning like he's not even in the same high school. They just happen to meet at.
But you're making a completely
if it's direct, contact where he's teaching her and he's in the same high school and they know about one another and it just becomes this attraction.
So wait. You're saying that you're absolutely fine with it, or not absolutely. I'm not sure how fine you are, but it sounds like you're saying you're fine with it if there's a teacher and a student relationship, except they're from different schools.
They're from different schools. They did not meet on school grounds.
But she's still 15 years old or 16 years old.
Well, you said 16.
16. Okay. I'm sorry. 16.
Only.
Okay.
And yet again, let me reiterate that.
I'm not exactly sure why that would be any different.
Because it's a huge difference. Because,
what is it?
Well, the difference is the professor or teacher, he is in a professional environment. Okay? That's one. Two, he becomes someone that is
but it's still illegal
praying.
though.
Okay, that's fine. potentially preying on his young students. Do you know what I mean?
But he can't be potentially praying at a party?
No, not necessarily. The thing is that if it's thrown by, let's say, her family, and he happens to be there, maybe he's a friend of the family,
Okay.
maybe he's an acquaintance of the family, and she and he somehow they develop a relationship. But wait a second, he would have to ask permission from her parents if it's okay to date. If he does not ask for permission, then there's something wrong. I think that
But I'm still not sure what you mean by he has to go through meaning somehow if there's a division between them going to school together, meaning he teaches there and she goes to school there, somehow there's this thing where if they live in different zip codes
it's if they don't, it's unprofessional for a student and teacher, irregardless, in my opinion, irregardless.
But what does that have to do? We're not talking about whether it's professional or not. We're talking about the legality of it.
Yeah,
should
it's
it
illegal.
right? But should it be is there any circumstance that it should be legal in?
No. In
Okay,
that
that's
sense,
what I was asking you.
Okay, but I just wanted to clarify that there is one instance when I think that it should be okay,
Well, that's what I'm
which is
asking.
outside of the school. Okay.
So a minor can date an older person if they're meeting outside of the school.
Outside of the school, they are not in the same professional environment, and her parents or his parents are okay with it.
Wait, what does his parents have to do with it?
Well,
He's
it's
of age
either
already.
It's either no. I'm saying no.
You mean
No,
her parents?
I'm talking about whether it's a male student or a female student.
Right, but we're talking specifically about a female
If we're
student.
talking about specifically about female students, then the parents have to consent to that. If they don't consent to that, then
But what if the
illegal.
parents right? But in the same circumstance, what if the parents are okay with when she's dating the teacher? If they say absolutely, she told us right away that she liked him before she. Let's say I'm gonna build a scenario, okay? Now, before she did anything, and she was the instigator in this, okay? She started before anything. She liked him. She told her parents, I really, really like him. He's really amazing. And the parents, for whatever reason, said, you know what? If he actually wants to go out with you, I give you my blessing, and it's fine. You can do that. She starts hitting on him. He turns her down at every instance. Okay, he's just doing it. He's like, no, we can't. This is inappropriate. Completely can't do it. Finally, after months of her hitting on him, after flirting and all that kind of stuff, he finally gives in and says, okay, fine, we could go on a date, okay? Are you saying that should be illegal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the difference between the scenario you gave where they're not in the same school versus they are in the same school?
There's a huge
Okay,
difference
what is it?
between because they're in a professional environment.
Okay, that's fine. You could say that's
he's
fine.
the
That's
adult.
fine. You could say it's unprofessional, but that's
I'm not saying he should go to jail.
Right.
Well, but,
No, but that's what we're talking about. Illegal
he
isn't
should go to
like
jail if they have sex together. But for them to have a relationship, I'm not saying sex. Wait a second. I never said sex.
But that's what we're talking about. No, that's what we're talking. Come on.
Okay. Listen.
Come on, we're not
Having
talking about holding hands here. Come on, this
having
isn't
sex
come on.
with a minor.
Yes.
Should be illegal in my opinion. I agree with that. I
Right.
really
Okay.
do.
So you thought we were having a completely separate conversation where it's not where it's
if they're
who
having,
who
if they're
the
having a-
who the hell would have,
Hey.
it's the topic the title of the topic was having teachers
True,
having
true,
sex
but-
with minors with
Right,
students
but
basically.
there is how can I put it? There you can, in my opinion, have a relationship with someone that is non-sexual.
Yes, but that's not what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
You just
I'm
build
just
up your own
Okay.
hey, well, if they
Listen.
have a relationship where they just email each other,
If
well
it's-
then that's fine.
You're not
come
going to
on.
ask. Okay, you're not going to ask your parents.
Right, you ask them for a relationship which they know means that you might go all the way.
No. I
Well, you're
disagree.
talking.
No.
They're talking about an older guy and a young girl.
True, but that's not what they're thinking.
Come on.
Parents
We're
are not
talking
thinking about sex.
We're talking. Come on. You're
Parents are
arguing
not thinking
semantics.
about sex.
You're arguing semantics here. the topic wasn't what you just brought up. It completely, like, you completely made up your own topic and started arguing it.
Hey, it went where it went, but okay.
No, it didn't.
Okay,
You brought
honestly,
it there.
Honestly, I don't like the fact that a teacher who has all the power, right? The reason is
So that's for you. That's what it is. It's the fact that the teacher has power.
well, the teacher has power. He's the adult in the relationship. He's had sex before.
So, but not going back. So you're okay with them having like, for example, if they don't go to the same school, or he doesn't teach in the same school and she goes to a different school, you're okay if they have a relationship but not have sex.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because that's what I had in a sense. I was not a teacher, but I was dating this girl and I was 19 and she was 14 and we didn't have sex not until she was 18 years or older. So, that's fine. I have no problem. And her parents consented, so it was okay.
They consented to sex?
No, they did not consent to sex. Even if they consented to sex, I would not have sex with her. Because it's wrong. You're taking honestly, it's wrong. You're taking advantage of someone that's underage, doesn't know what they want. So you have to wait until.
But you're both
they're mature,
the example you're giving. They're both teenagers.
What do you mean they're both teenagers?
I mean they're both. You were both teenagers. You were 19. She was almost 15 at that point, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, she was almost 15, but that's irrelevant. The whole point is she was much younger. She was immature. She really didn't know what she wanted, and taking advantage of someone like that could be equated to rape. Could be. I'm not saying. Look, listen. I'm not saying that it's rape. But if someone doesn't know what they actually want at that age, you know what I mean? They don't even have a car that they can drive. You know what I mean? They go to school, they do kids stuff, and you're ready for sex because you're much older. But she's a teenager, 16, 15, whatever, 14. There's a huge problem there.
Okay, so then let me ask you. Okay, let's change things up. What do you think of I want to say teenagers and female teachers? Do you think the same argument goes for that, or do you think it's any different for them? Yes, male students and female teachers.
I don't think so. I really don't. I don't see. I'm just curious. In these cases, do you think that it's actually the woman that is going after the student, or do you think it's the male student that's going after the teacher?
I'm pretty sure if I had to guess, because I've never been a part of that, but if I had to guess, I would think it's both. I would think there's cases of where the student was actively seeking the teacher, and I'm sure there were cases where the teacher was seeking out the student.
Well, it doesn't make it right in either case, in my opinion. Okay, but again, you're in a professional environment. Okay, and that's gonna happen, especially in high school, right? You're gonna have male students that have a lot of testosterone. A really cute teacher. They supposedly fall in love with her, which is really more of a sexual. It's sexual innuendo.
It's happened. They just reviewed an article. There was a story where the teacher actually went to jail for it and stuff like that, and they're still together. They have kids together, and
that's a freak show. They just put that.
I can't.
Strange,
no, it is strange, absolutely, but. It has happened, so I'm saying to your point that it doesn't happen, it does.
No, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, okay? But pretty much it's still wrong in either way. You know what I mean? But I'm just so curious as to the reason why these female teachers, they're good looking, most of them. I mean, at least the ones that they show on the news.
Some of them, yes.
They're decent looking girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're married. Some of them, well,
Like,
I've seen some.
Right, maybe some, but most of the ones I've heard of, they were not married. Most of the ones I've heard of were not married.
Okay. Well, either way, I'm just trying to understand this. Is this a fetish of theirs to go after young boys that are immature? I mean, like, think about it. How big can their penis size really be?
I don't think.
At that point I don't think. It's so weird to me. It's so weird.
I don't think it's about any kind of penis size or anything like that. What I do think is that it's a lot of it has to do with your surroundings. If you're surrounded by students all the time throughout a whole year, you're basically every single day, those are the people that you see. Like the same thing with, we're not going to get into a full conversation about this yet, but priests and and the kids around them, but the teachers that are around, like especially female teachers who are around students all the time, I could see the attraction building there because you're around them all the time.
Alex, listen, if that was the case, look, I'm around mostly guys. So in a sense, I should be building an attraction for guys. All my friends. But you're not.
No, hold on. We're not talking about, you're straight, so I wouldn't think that. But if you're around other women all the time and they were, let's say you found them attractive, you're saying that there's no chance that you would ask them out?
I would not go after a girl that is underage. Let's just put it that way. I'm even thinking about women or girls that are 21, 22, and it's not like I'm that much older than them. I'm even thinking about that. I wouldn't even do that.
But that's not what we were talking about. We weren't talking about you going after. You already did that once, so
okay, I did it once, but it was because I was 19. Okay, let's get that.
Right. Okay. That's fine. Okay, but women going after younger men. I mean, the thing is, again, as I said earlier, I completely disagree with you that this should even be a legal matter. I think that this is. I think that the fact that if the kid, I mean, they're basically doing it to protect kids. But if the kid in no way gets hurt by this, is happy, is gratified that he's actually getting sex, he is viewed by his peers as a great, amazing guy, there is no problem that I see that the teacher needs to be labeled a pedophile, needs to be put into jail. She needs to, learn her lesson or something like that. Guys want sex. If a teacher gives them sex, unless she does it by force, which is, if a teenager is, I can't even imagine that, like a guy actually being forced to have sex
unless she's ugly.
Right. But if you're a teenager, you're
even if
you want to have sex badly.
So even if she's ugly,
okay. Well, there is a small percentage you can say no, but overall, something like that doesn't happen. Like all the cases that we've ever heard of, the kid wanted to have sex. He wasn't somebody who was a victim, but yet we victimize him the same way we look at women, and we go see a woman, she's a kid and she didn't know what she was doing. Guys, we want to have sex with teachers. So if you we
want to have sex with teachers.
Absolutely. Even if you grow up, you still want to have sex with teachers. Then we never grow out of that.
I don't know about that. I don't know about if all the guys in the class, I want to have sex with a teacher. I don't know about that.
If the teacher is hot, I remember.
That's different.
Hold on. Well, that's what we're talking about. No. It's who you find attractive. So for example, I remember in junior high, we had this really big-breasted woman who was teaching math. I remember literally the male students that we were around, we were like, wow, she is hot. We were comparing her to Pamela Anderson at that point. We were like, oh my God, it's like her husband must be a lucky man or something like that.
Sickos.
Well, I don't know how we were sick. But anyways, and I remember that kind of mentality never leaves. I mean, none of the students I knew had sex with her or anything like that, or had it with any teacher that I know of.
You never know. Maybe it just
that's true. It might have happened, but if it did, all of us would have been, how did you do it? Tell us, please. We would look at him as a god. If he actually slept with that woman, no one would be like, oh man, I know you probably have to miss school because how are you going to live with this?
But how could she even enjoy it? I don't understand.
We're not talking about enjoyment because there's a different kind of idea to that. But we're talking about, should it be legal? And I think there's two cases, because women, I feel like yes, that should be illegal. When it's a guy going after a girl,
it's a double standard. You
yeah,
like
absolutely.
double
I completely think this is a double standard. The same way as double standards exist all around us. Yes, this is a double standard, and I think when a guy doesn't get hurt by this, what?
The legal system cannot.
I know it doesn't. Again, we're talking about hypothetically. I'm not making laws, and you're not making laws here.
I should be making laws.
Right. I think you'd be fired very quick. But anyways, I'm saying that if you're a girl and this happens to you and stuff like that, I could see a lot of people going, she could be forced, she could be manipulated, whatever the case is. But for guys, we are going through our prime in terms of our teenage years. We are horny as hell, and if a woman gives it up to us, especially a teacher, it doesn't hurt us in any way. I mean, you could make up scenarios where
if it does
right. Again, that's what I was about to say. You can make up a scenario where it hurts you minutely. Oh yeah, well, what if she had a disease, or what if this? Blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can make up a bunch of scenarios, but they're absolutely minute. Majority of the time, you are the king of the school. You are the happiest guy in the fucking world, and you just I literally do not see a negative side to this.
Let me ask you this question. You believe in no legal ramifications for...
Yes.
Okay. But what about fire her?
The school fire her. Could she get a
really?
raise?
You're
could she get a raise?
Thinking about this,
could she
right?
get a raise?
Get a raise? Are you insane?
She did something great.
Really? So
okay.
I'm being, your son having sex with a teacher?
Oh, 100%.
You're insane.
100%.
You're insane.
100%.
You are insane.
If anything, I probably high five him.
Oh man, you are insane.
So
you're insane.
So let me ask you: if your son, for example, your hypothetical son, if he were to have sex let's say he's 16 years old with his teacher, his hot teacher that you saw, that you thought was hot too. You're saying that you would go, oh man, I'm gonna have to take him to therapy so he could recover from this situation.
You should understand that I should have sex with her first,
right,
and then we should discuss.
Exactly.
And then we should discuss if he should have sex with her, if I approve, if I like what I saw and what happened.
Exactly.
No, but honestly, I think that it's unhealthy. Okay, you're in a professional school.
Unhealthy? What is this professional thing? We're talking about.
You are there to learn. And
you know how much that kid learned. That kid learned much more than any other kid in the class.
Listen for a second. If this was sex ed, okay, then it would be completely different. Okay.
Hey, why can't you have both? Why can't you have both?
You could have both. But what I'm trying to get at, if this was sex ed and it was approved by the parents, then I could at least understand that, okay?
But that's the thing. Yeah. If you have both parents, the mother won't understand that. The father usually will understand. The father will go like, "Hey, go ahead." But the thing is, I mean, that's not really a feasible thing where they're like, "Oh yeah, the teacher, if they wanted, they could have sex with my child."
So pretty much, you didn't really answer my question because I interrupted you. That's fine. So you feel, and I'm just trying to see if I understand your point of view on this. You feel that the teacher who's a female that commits a sexual act with a student in the same school should get a raise. So she should not be fired.
No. I was being sarcastic about the raise. I do think that, seriously speaking, I probably do say that yes, she shouldn't. I don't know if she should be fired, but she should be maybe written up for it.
Really, written up for the fact that she
was doing something unprofessional. That's as far as I go with it. But I don't think it's a legal matter. I don't think it's something that even the school should like. First of all, I don't believe that when a business. I don't believe a business when you're working at a place that if you have sex with and I know this is a different scenario.
Completely different.
You're right, but I'm just saying, I'm just giving the overall picture here. I don't believe that if you're working in any place that they should be able to tell you who you should date or who you shouldn't date. Speaking of this, since I feel that it's not an illegal act for a female teacher to have sex with a student, because of that, I feel the same way. Looking at those two things, I'm like, she shouldn't get fired for that. If they go like, hey, we don't want this to happen regularly,
crazy.
then that's it.
This is anarchy, man. This is what you're proposing. Is
Anarchy?
anarchy in the school?
Anarchy. Wait,
Do
wait.
what
So
you want,
female students.
when you want.
Wait. So female teachers having sex with students. That's anarchy.
Oh, but
my God.
You're allowing them to do what they want sexually. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous, man. You're insane.
You sound extremely conservative. Where it's like you can't do it. But when I was saying that there's no actual like anything negative that happens to a kid, there's really no argument to that.
I disagree. I mean, there could be negative aspects.
No.
To this,
Do not make up the 1 in a million scenario, but make up a scenario that actually could happen regular.
Well, what if he's attracted to female teachers and that's all he can have in his life?
Again, I literally just said don't make up that 1 in a million scenario. Make up a regular scenario that can happen on a regular basis.
What if she dumps him?
Okay.
He can't get over it.
What do you mean? Everybody
he's
gets over it.
Psychologically fucked. After
come
that.
on,
huh?
come on. We all
Hey.
everyone gets over the first time that they're with somebody. It would happen with her, or would happen with somebody else. It still happens.
Such a young and tender age.
Oh, come on! It happens all the time. It happens.
It does happen all the time.
Because you do get girlfriends when you're 15, when you're 14, and stuff like that. So the idea that it never happens to you unless it's a teacher.
Yeah, but you're making it seem like this is something that it's healthy, that it's normal.
I'm not saying that it's normal, but I'm saying that it is healthy.
Healthy? No, I don't think so.
So
sorry.
again,
having
if you're
sex at such a
but they're having
age
no wait, hold on a
is
second.
healthy.
Hold on a second. Kids are having sex now at that age. I'm not talking about like if there's a 10-year-old. We didn't go like to elementary school and start talking about that.
Maybe, what if this is happening?
We're not talking about that.
No,
and we never heard of it.
But okay, so let's say that this is happening because you brought it up. Let's say that this is happening in elementary.
But
so
we're
you
not
would be against it.
No, but wait. But we're not though. That's the thing. I've never heard of that scenario before. So you're asking me something that doesn't exist.
Oh no. Wait a second. You're saying that this doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Just because you haven't heard this
I've
on
never
the
heard
news.
ever anywhere.
So
I've never heard of it.
Okay, just because you have not heard
That's why. Yes.
On the news, because don't say, who's talking about this on a daily basis with you, regular people? No. So
no,
anyway,
I'm saying
so just
anywhere.
because you have not heard this on the news, that it's not happening.
Right, exactly.
Really?
Yes, teachers.
Wow,
we're talking about the
come
specific
on,
case where the teacher is having sex with a 9-year-old that can't even get it up.
That could happen.
But they can't even get it up.
Hey, you don't know what they're doing. I mean, it may not be. It may not
come
even
on,
be
come on.
penetration.
You're making your like. See. I asked you. I literally no, but we're talking about sex. We're talking about fondling.
But fondling's that's the same thing.
No, that's not the same thing.
Oh please!
You think first base and sex is the same thing?
Okay. It's a sexual act.
Yeah, but come on.
Touching a little bit, tickly, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's still
not
sex. Sexual act.
It's not sex.
It's part of sex.
It's not sex.
Whatever you want to say.
It's not sex. That's
it's
exactly.
abuse. Whatever you want to call it.
You're being ridiculous. The thing is,
I'm not being ridiculous. I'm being realistic.
The thing is, I asked you specifically to give me a scenario where it's not 1 out of a million, 1 out of anything, and what you started to do was specifically giving me those scenarios. It doesn't exist, and I think that women, basically, if you want to have sex with somebody in high school, you should do it and make guys happy. And trust me,
crazy.
Have you ever heard of a guy? Have you ever heard of a guy ever in your life? Have you ever heard of a guy go like, "Man, I had sex early on and it fucked me up"? I rest my case.
I don't know too many guys that have sex at that age. Let's just put it that way.
What age?
Well, at 15, 16 years. I don't know too many that have had sex. Or at least they haven't told me about that. Okay, let's just put it that way. I'm sure the guy.
That is so weird because that's most of the people.
Listen,
that is most of the people that actually what they do.
I would be happy if I had it too. But yet again, I'm young.
Yeah, but it would scar you, right?
I don't think it would scar me. But I'm young. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sexually driven, right? As any guy would be. And, I want sex, but I don't know what I'm doing. And especially if I'm having sex with an older woman, I see her in a different light. I see her as someone that, knows much more than I do about life, about the subject that she's teaching me, about sex, and then I fall in love with her, and then all of a sudden I find out that, you know, she's in jail because of this act, and it's my fault. Think about the trauma that could happen within yourself. You know, you feel bad about it.
Wow, that is that is such a crazy point of view to look at it. That's like
realistic.
You know, no, it's not. That's not realistic. Real life. You literally had the best experience of your life to that point. Okay, it wasn't something that was horrific. It wasn't anything. You're literally made up like, you're like, well, you know, she goes to jail and you're going to like fall in love with her and you're going to want to be with her and all that kind of stuff. And the fact of it is that at that point you are getting pussy, and that's what you want.
Don't just say pussy. Getting more than pussy.
Okay, whatever. I just think, okay, point is, I think that shouldn't be. Yeah, that definitely should not be.
Some laws are good laws to have, and in my opinion, this is one of the laws because
it protects no one.
Oh,
it literally protects no one.
It protects the student.
The student, right, for experiencing the best time of his life, being the king of the school.
Oh, come on. You will experience life, okay? You don't have to experience it at a time when you're developing, and you don't even know what you want.
I'm sorry. How old are you? Are you 70? Because I wasn't sure. This is a conversation that I could see having with my grandmother, where she would be like, "Oh, that shouldn't have been." But like, you're not an old person, so for you to have a point of view that's so one dimensional, like, you know, like, oh, you just don't understand. Most people at this point have sex early on, so the idea that somehow if they have
it does not make it right, does it? Are you
saying wait, but it doesn't make it illegal either.
That's different though, because we're dealing with different perspectives and different variables here. If a young student has sex with another young student, they're both immature. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, there is something wrong with it. Because of the consequences that may happen, right? Because they're young, right? And they don't know what the consequences are.
All right, okay. You know what?
Okay.
Let's do this. We're not going to see eye to eye on this, you know, like.
I don't think we're going to see eye to eye in many things. Let's just put it that way.
Right, but specifically this, we're not going to see eye to eye on this. So let's just end it with, I was right, you're wrong. What's the next topic?
Man, the next topic is very controversial. It's Black Lives Matter. I don't know, but to me, the Black Lives Matter.
Well, first, for our viewers who, if you don't know, can you tell them a little about what they are?
Well, it's just a organization, as far as I understand, African Americans, and I'm sure that it wasn't necessarily started by African Americans.
It was.
Okay, so it was, and about it's pretty much how police using black people. So continue with that, Alex.
All right, okay. One of my biggest gripe about Black Lives Matter is the name. I understand the point they made.